What was the Holocaust? Chapter 8, The Final Solution. In June 1941, German troops crossed into the Soviet Union. About 4 million Jews lived in the region. Now came a new order. Don't bother sending Jews to camps or ghettos. Kill them right away. This was the next step in Hitler's plan. Special bands followed the German army from town to town. The Nazis forced Jews into them, then piped poisonous gas into the back. Outside the city of Kiev at Babi Yar, 33,000 Jews were killed in 2 days. 33,000 who? Jews. The Jewish people died in how many days? 2 days. They were lined up in small groups along the edge of a ravine. Remember, the ravine dips. They were shot and their bodies fell into the dead below. So they were at the ravine and then they just fell back on top of people, on top of people, on top of people. Within 18 months, over a year, there's 12 months in a year, so this is a little over a year, 1 million people were killed. Even so, Hitler wanted better, faster methods of murder. He decided on something called the Final Solution, a top secret plan to completely wipe out the Jews in death camps all over Poland. The Onesie Conference. Outside of Berlin at Wannsee, a conference was held on January 20th, 1942. It brought together top Nazi officials to learn about the plan for the final solution. The men discussed methods of mass murder. A poisonous gas called Zyklon B was to be used. They also talked over transportation issues, how to get all the Jews in occupied Europe to death camps. They decided Jews would be rounded up and taken by train. All the officials at Wannsee gave their approval to the final solution. Look, here are the gas pellets that they would put in the showers. See it? Poland became the land of death camps. The first was in Klemno. It went into operation in December of 1941. 3 others were quickly built: Belzec, Sobibor, and Treblinka, with huge gas chambers. Remember, the pellets were used in the gas chambers. Gas chambers were added to the concentration camp at Majdanek and built in other camps as well. The biggest camp was the one at Auschwitz. Even before the gas chambers were built, Auschwitz had a huge complex. It had more than 40 subcamps. One subcamp alone held 10,000 inmates. It had factories, farms, and coal mines. At Auschwitz, ID numbers were tattooed on the prisoners' arms. Yes. In the end, more than 1 million people died there. The vast majority of victims were Jewish. So here is the entrance to Auschwitz. Here's crematorium, undressing, crematorium. So the crematorium is where they did what? They had to get, so the crematorium is where they, after they died, they burned them. And remember, we saw the big mound of ashes? Okay. Hitler ordered all the ghettos emptied. In the Lodz ghetto, the first major roundups mass arrest took place in the early 1942. In September, another order was issued. The SS wanted 25,000 more people, including children. Parents refused. You can't take my kids. So the Nazis declared a 24-hour curfew. Nobody could go outside for 8 days. During that time, the SS searched apartment after apartment. If anyone resisted, they were shot. In the end, around 15,000 people were seized. At a nearby station, a train waited. It was only 30 miles from Lodz to the camp at Klemno. Yes. This is where, these are the bunkhouses, remember, where they had the bunk beds with 4 or 5 people and they were stacked tall? Okay, and remember, this is, look, they took what to the concentration camps? Trains, yeah, so they could fit lots of people. And Frank, yeah, the trains took people to the camps. And, yeah, jails, the concentration camp, yeah. Anne Frank, 1929 to 1945. Anne Frank was a young Jewish girl born in Germany. When she was 4, her family moved to Amsterdam to escape the Nazis. 7 years later, Hitler invaded the Netherlands. In July 1942, the Frank family went into hiding. They lived in a secret part of the building that housed Anne's father's company. For more than 2 years, the Franks shared the space. Another family and friend with another family and friend. They were unable to go outside, talk loudly, or open curtains. Anne recorded her story, her feelings, fears, hopes, and dreams in a diary. In August of 1944, the group was discovered and arrested. Anne and her sister both died in a concentration camp just weeks before the war ended. Anne was 15, but she lives on in her diary, which was found by a family friend. It's been translated to 67 different languages around the world. Chloe, you'll really enjoy Anne Frank. Death camps were located near railway lines. So when prisoners got off trains, they didn't have far to go. Transit camps were also set up. One outside Paris, another outside Amsterdam, and one in Belgium. Jews would be arrested, gathered in transit camps, and then sent on to Poland and death. People lived in constant fear of these roundups. They usually began at dawn with a loud knock. Officers burst into the apartment. People were sleepy and confused and very scared. The officers searched every closet, every cabinet to make sure they found everyone. They gave people minutes to pack before starting the journey that would end at the death camp in Germany. So they allowed them to pack stuff. When they got to Auschwitz, could they take their stuff with them? No. Some train cars had open tops, some closed. Some were cattle cars, moved herds of cows. Each car was freezing cold in the winter and boiling hot in the summer. Closed cattle cars were the worst. They had no windows. People rode in total darkness. 80 to 100 prisoners packed into a space about the size of 4 elevators. They had no water or food. There was no bathroom, just a bucket. Do you think people died on the way? Yeah. Was there room to poop and pee? No, there was a bucket. You did it right, and they couldn't get clean. Oh. Some journeys took days. By the time the train reached the camp, many had already died. When the train doors opened, people thought, "At last, fresh air!" When they saw the camp, the prison complex with gloomy buildings, guard towers, electric fences, machine guns, searchlights, SS officers with whips and rifles, and vicious dogs. So when they got there, they were so excited because it was fresh air. Do you think they were happy or scared or mad once they got, yeah, scared? What? You're right. Well, but they didn't have dogs as pets. They had dogs to cause fear and to be mean and to attack, not dogs to be nice. At Auschwitz, SS doctors waited for the prisoners. These doctors decided each prisoner's fate in a selection. The strongest went to a labor camp. Those who couldn't work were sent right away to their deaths. SS officers told these people they were going to take showers to wash off the dust from the long trip. Did they really take showers? No. They led, what? Gas chambers, yeah. They led groups to a giant room to undress. Sometimes an officer gave out soap and towels, but this was all a trick. What happened when they went into the showers? They died from what? Gas. Well, they're not in there. They didn't show the people. I think it's just too sad. The door to another room opened. Prisoners saw shower heads. When they stepped inside, the doors were sealed tight. No water came down. Instead, poisonous gas was piped in. The shower room was a death chamber. Everyone died in minutes. Afterward, the bodies were cremated, burned to ash in ovens. What were those places called? The cream. Good job. At first, the Allies didn't believe that death camps really existed, but the news spread. World leaders, however, didn't act. The best plan the Allies reasoned was to end the war as quickly as possible. And then the Jews would be helped too. But the war lasted until 1945. At that point, 12 million people, half of them Jewish, had been murdered. Okay, so the final solution was to do what? What did Hitler want to do? Kill all the Jews. You're right. How many people died in 2 days? 33,000. And who were they? The Jewish people. And in 18 months, so a year and a half, how many people were killed? 1 million. 1 million. And they told that they were going to go, they came on their long ride in a train. Go to the bathroom. Train. So scary. And it was hot. A lot of people died. And they went to the concentration camp and they said, oh, here, take a shower. Was it really a shower?
No, it was gas coming.
It was gas coming out. And the Allies, they didn't think it was real. And we were saying, help, help, the Jewish people. Help, we need help. Did they help?
No.
Not at first, no. They just said the war needs to end, but they weren't acting real fast, were they? And then what happened?
They died.
12 million died. Well, the news, they were talking about the concentration camps, and Hitler was talking because he was very proud of what he was doing, right? So he was going in rallies, he was talking to lots of people. There were meetings with tons of people talking about it.